In today's video, we're going to be looking at Lime Crime Unicorn Hair in the color Gargoyle. I have my swatches labeled 1 through 12, but that's not synonymous with hair levels, if that's not already obvious. My 1 and 2 are always unnatural hair colors. I wasn't really sure what colors to do with Gargoyle, but Gargoyle is marketed as a tint and not a full coverage dye, so I chose to go with my lighter swatches that I have. So number 1 is a green, number 2 is a pink, 3 is a natural red, and then 4 is black. From 4 up to 11, we have a range that goes to platinum blonde, and then number 12 is supposed to be like a toned version of number 11. So what I like to do is I'll take the dye directly from the package, and I'll put it at the top of each swatch, and then later on I will dilute the dye and I'll put that at the bottom of each swatch. Quickly, I do just want to say as well, I cannot guarantee that how this dye turns out on my swatches is how it will turn out on your hair. Everyone's hair is different, which means everyone's hair will take dye differently. It's always best to do as much research as possible when you are dyeing your hair at home, especially. Because this is considered a tint, for the diluted portion, I'm going to do 1/4 of a teaspoon of dye with 1/4 of a teaspoon of diluter as well. In case you are wondering, no, you do not need a diluter for semi-permanent dyes. A quick explanation for a diluter is that it essentially just lightens a dye up. There can be a variety of reasons why people would want to do that, and sometimes I've noticed it can help to show undertones in dyes as well. I'm going to let these sit for about 3 hours. I will rinse them out, let them dry, and then I will meet you back here. In my opinion, it looks like number 7 and onward took the dye, and then obviously 4 didn't, 5 and 6 I don't really see a difference either. When it comes to dyeing your hair gray, I personally recommend to tone your hair if you have very blonde hair, because I know grays sometimes can fade to like a greenish color, and I think that's partially because of the yellow in the hair interacting with the gray, because usually grays are a little bit more green based. Toning the hair first does kind of help to prevent that, but obviously that's not guaranteed, and every gray dye is a little bit different as well. So Lime Crime has another gray dye that is a part of the full coverage line, and that one is called Charcoal. So I'm going to compare that. This is comparable to number 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, and 7. First of all, I should write it down, but I never remember the ratios I do for the diluted parts. And for these ones, this part and this part are all different. So this part you probably don't even want to pay attention to because it's not going to be the same as this. The middle part is probably a little bit more important. But oddly to me, the charcoal full coverage dye looks a little bit more green in comparison, whereas the top bit looks almost the same in comparison. There's a chance I probably diluted this way too much, and that could be why it looks a little bit more greener because there's less gray versus these ones. But even though the Gargoyle is considered a tint, I feel like it dyed just as well. But like I said, the top pieces look pretty much the same in comparison. So I guess it's based off of your guys' experience. Once again, if you've used either of these dyes, feel free to let us know your experience down below. The only other grayish silver dye that I've done is from Ion, and that one is called Titanium. And this is the semi-permanent dye, because they do make a permanent dye for titanium as well. But this is the semi-permanent. This is comparable to number 12, 11, 10, and 9. So I will say, I believe I dyed my husband's hair with the permanent titanium dye from Ion, and it looked much darker, like closer to this. Now, semi-permanent one is a fairly light gray on my swatches at least. So to me, the titanium one for Ion, the semi-permanent one, is probably better if you have very, very light blonde hair. You'd have to bleach your hair probably almost to number 9. And then toning it seems to give the best result. It looks the most gray at number 10. Alright, so now that we've done the comparisons, let's get into the close-ups. if you have I can't remember the word, a suggestion? There's another word that I'm thinking of. But anyways, if you have a suggestion that you'd like to see me do on my channel, feel free to comment down below, or I also have a link in the description for a Google form you can fill out. Just remember, I only do dyes that do not test on animals. Thank you so much to my patrons. I hope this video helped, and I hope to see you in the next one.